Welcome back, everyone, to Red Spotlight Entertainment. I'm Alexis, joined by David, of course, here, and Peter Martinez, the show that brings you everything coming out of the world of movies and more. This is going to be Red Spotlight number 516. We are recording this on October 15th, 2025. We have one big review to actually, yes, I will do that in a couple of minutes once I go ahead and give them your socials and everything else. Yes, we're going to go ahead and air it all out today on this episode. Today's big review is going to be the latest and greatest from Paul Thomas Anderson. That is One Battle After Another, which stars Leonardo DiCaprio, and it is what many in the industry are calling the next big Oscar contender, Oscar hopeful. We all have seen the movie. Some of us have seen it several times, I should say, at this point. And that's where we're going to focus today's episode. All that and more here on Red Spotlight number 516. Before we go ahead and get into that, was there any bit of late-breaking news that we wanted to talk about? I know we had a couple of passings. Diane Keaton had passed away over the weekend at 79 years old. Legendary actor. The family revealed just today that she had passed away of pneumonia, which was sad to hear. Yeah. I know. That'll do it for
it's
somebody
killer
who is
for older people.
Literally. The thing, what is so hard to fathom though about Diane Keaton is that even though she was 79 and she clearly was a woman of an older age, I mean, I gotta tell you, I feel like she eternally just stayed in her 50s. I mean, to me, like, she acted like a 50-year-old woman for the most part. She was just so vibrant and was working, it kept working through so many years. I have so many memories of many of her films. Like, to me, she was just one of those actors that anytime she'd pop in, and the movie didn't have to be necessarily all that good, but if she was in it, she was good in it. And even that, especially in the 2000s, when she had so many films that came out in a row, that would do it. I know there was a time, I think, I don't know, maybe I think it was 2008. I know that she did this movie one time with like Queen Latifah and Ted Danson called Mad Money. And my mom wanted to go see it. We went to go see it in the theater, and it was a great time. And I know Diane Keaton also did what was it called? Kyle's a big fan of The Family Stone, which she had purchased, and that's why it's on our Voodoo Locker Fandango at Home app. In case you're wondering why it's there.
The Godfather.
I mean, well, that was going way back, right? But talking about like in my recent preview, I know Alexis probably would say The Book Club. I think she likes The Book Club movies.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yes, I think that there's like 2 Book Club movies, and I think her work on the with Nancy
80
Myers
for Brady,
especially. No, I don't think she was in that one.
She wasn't one of the 80.
No, I don't think she was in that movie.
No.
With the Father of the Bride movies, and then of course with Something's Gotta Give. Her performance with Jack Nicholson, or alongside Jack Nicholson, was one of my favorite ever. I'm disappointed that she died. I wanted to see her in more work. You know, I think there was still so much more to do, and this was just somebody who I never thought could go. And I feel like when you feel that way about some people, that is a good sign that not that you're next. Shut up, Peter. I'm not talking about myself in that sense.
Whoa,
you're gonna go ahead and go there. I know you're already thinking that,
paranoid,
but I was gonna say it's like
person.
It is a sure good sign.
All of you see the way I was attacked like that, right? It is
a sure good sign that you are aging and you are getting older. With some of the stalwarts that you thought were just eternal and everlasting are just one by one dropping like flies. By the way, Diane Keaton is the same age as a certain Orange Peach, and I cannot believe she fucking dropped dead and he's still fucking kicking it.
ICE, revoke his passport.
They're on their way right now.
I know for a fact he's not a U.S. citizen.
Yeah. Yes. Speaking about that, when they come near the facilities here, we'll make sure to, let's just say, drop all of the personal information on all of the people on the said hit list. Peter, be expecting some company at your doorstep in the near future.
I'm a real American, unlike you. Okay.
Have you looked at the color of your skin?
Oh, I thought it was an American flag. It's not. Never mind.
No. Nope, that's not what it is. Yeah. So that was something I think pretty major that happened. Was there something else? I know that Peacemaker came and went, and there were a lot of people who were left either disappointed or quite angry over what finale happened. I understand that the finale chose to focus more so on character and not so much on, I guess, a lot of other things. It's interesting, but I gotta tell you the before I go over. I think you're the one that saw it, Peter. So you're gonna talk more about this.
I lost my access to HBO Max.
Oh. What I was going to say is it seemed as if based on what I had been hearing, it seemed like this was James Gunn's first miss.
I haven't seen it. For the people that complained about it, from what I saw, it's less so that it focused more on character. Although some of that was that, because I guess he was saying like, oh my God, these episodes were the craziest thing I've ever done. And it wasn't. It was just like normal episodes. I guess what a lot of people felt. But also, and this could potentially piss me off. It basically ends in like a cliffhanger scenario. And James Gunn's like, there's gonna be no more seasons of Peacemaker. And it's like, you'll see the fate of the characters and soon. Which basically means like another show or movie or something like that. And
don't you just love the modern day streaming age?
Yeah, that should piss it. No, yeah, and yeah, that's something where it's like, yeah, that would piss me off too. Like if that's true, yeah, to me that is a genuine miss. Especially because he's the one who's been pushing so fucking hard. Like each show and movie, it's gonna be its own thing, and it's not gonna be he's basically been pushing to the opposite of what seemingly happened for like the whole DCU thing.
Yeah, that is something to be concerned about in the future, but we shall see. It could be an instance where maybe he just really, really loved these characters so much that was it. But then it also kind of defies the logic here. It's like, well, if you love these characters so much, why wouldn't you bring it to a close? You know, like, look no further than Andor. They only had 2 seasons, and yet they brought everything to a satisfying conclusion, and then some.
I love Andor.
Yep.
And then also with Andor, if it wasn't for the realities of this shithole that we call the streaming age, in an alternate reality somewhere, that could have been a 5-season show.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you could see where they could have. It could have been the exact same story, just certain things fleshed out like to the nth degree. Like basically that one little point where Deidre and Cyril are basically settling into domestic life and putting his mom in place. You could see that shit stretch for a whole season of like a little back and forth, right? So yeah, no, he could have, but again, I can't even say, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really say whether he missed or didn't miss or give any kind of criticism.
Yeah. Also, for whatever it's worth, I think I heard the other day that Avengers, whatever they're calling the new one, I forgot. Doomsday.
Doomsday.
I guess it's done filming.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's done. Quote unquote.
Is it really? Don't worry, they'll start film. I think they'll be filming shit until like the month before it releases.
Probably so. And I mean, that's just kind of it. I don't know what else has been happening I mean, do you guys have anything?
News? No. But
Like movie news.
Everything else that we could talk about is just
Oh.
going to be depressing stuff about WB and the buyout and the merger. Let's not even go there.
Alright, fuck all that shit. There was a trailer for a new Sam Raimi film.
oh yeah,
It looks like a
There
lot of fun.
was?
Send Help.
Yeah.
I think it was like that.
Send Help.
It looks good. I
It
really
looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, crazy
A neat
pair
little
too.
Thriller.
Like
Yeah, it's a cool. I like the acting choices. I think help excel the casting choices. I mean, help excel like the idea, the plot, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's about, Mr.
Nope.
Soto?
I do not know anything about this movie.
It is. Who's the actress again?
I can't remember her name. I'll look it up real quick. Hold on.
And then the guy. I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but I can't remember.
Okay, so it stars Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. And
Dylan O'Brien, yeah.
yeah, both of those characers are stranded on the island.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. It's like weird, like casting pair, you know. And then
Well, Dylan O'Brien is actually getting back in. I know he had taken a couple of years off. I don't think he had an injury, right? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
At
I don't
some
know.
point, but he had. I think he's slowly coming back into, I guess, the center fold of things. He had recently done a movie
Twinless.
called Twinless, yeah, and it got a lot of really good. It's like a festival film that ended up, I think, getting a wide release. So ended up doing really well for him, and he had a pretty nuanced performance. He was playing like two different characters on that one. So interesting to see that he's getting more work with Rachel McAdams. I guess she really got along with him on the last movie they worked together, which was Multiverse of Madness.
Mhm.
So, Send Help is about these two getting stranded on the island, and Dylan O'Brien is her boss. Like, you know, whatever job they were doing, I don't know. But when they got stranded here, he got injured, and it's Rachel McAdams' character who is like doing everything to try and survive. And she's kind of like gaining more confidence in herself, but also in just the idea of like she kind of has power over her boss. And so now it's sort of leading to these two pitting against each other as to kind of who's going to be the superior, I guess, in this situation. But also,
Well,
is it going to lead
from
to
the
them?
trailer,
Good.
Dylan O'Brien plays like classic douchebag boss. And like Rachel McAdams is like very timid, like having mental breakdowns in her car and stuff. And then I don't know if they're going to some like work thing on a plane, they crash and they're on the island. And he's injured. So he's kind of at her mercy. And at first, you know, she's doing what she can to survive. It kind of seems like a cross between Lord of the Flies and Misery.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun.
There's a point in the trailer where she drops like some boar's head right in front of him, and she goes,
Yeah.
"Ever gone hunting? I think I'm really starting to like it." And so,
She's just
like,
covered
that's
in
the
blood.
kind of like craziness that's going on with her. And I think for Dylan O'Brien's character, he might just be like, I think I'm gonna have to like rely on myself to survive, or what, or it could just be also like Peter said, he's a douchebag. So for him, it's just, it could be him not wanting to like be powerless in front of her and all that. So he's just trying to gain his own confidence, and his own trying to be on his own. So yeah, it's just, who knows how it's gonna end. It could just be like an epic battle between the two of them or something. I don't know, but it looks really interesting.
Well, I'm happy to hear there's a new Sam Raimi movie coming up on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
That's always something to look forward to. I do also want to, have a continuing through line from the last episode, which we talked about a lot of our physical media collections. I understand that some of us have had some new acquisitions to our
Expansion.
collection. There's an expansion, yes. Peter, I believe you got your hands on a couple of really rare steelbooks.
Oh, the Tron
actually-
ones.
And Superman.
Oh, and Superman too. Yeah. I'd show you, but they're in the other room.
You could just go get them.
The second I'm away, you're gonna talk shit about me.
You do that anytime I walk away. I mean, why would it be any different? But yeah, have you acquired anything since last time we podcasted, Peter? Not you, Peter. David. Sorry.
I showed it to you when we last talked, but I got the vinyl for season 2 of The Last Airbender, which I listened to the whole thing, and it's so good. The Secret Tunnel one, you get the music bit of when Aang lost Appa, and you know the scene where he meets the sandbenders who stole him. You hear that music bit on it, and it's so good.
I'm so happy that they're releasing that. There's a lot of music from certain TV shows that doesn't get the right release when it. I mean, season 2 is like 20 years old. And it only just now is getting like a real release on streaming, and then also on vinyl. And then I also heard on Ami's stream, Amon Media's stream, that I don't know if we keep getting pranked, or maybe it's official now that they're finally going to release Murray Gold's season 10 score of Doctor Who, which we've been waiting on for like many, many years. So if that happens, we need that score out.
Oh my gosh, I would love a Doctor Who vinyl. Are you kidding me? You know how many times I listened to, what is it? I think it's pronounced Validesum, or basically
Validesum.
It's David Tennant's Regeneration music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one. I listened to that one. I listened to Shepherd's Boy.
That's a big musical good in season.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then, okay, Peter.
All right, here we go. Here's the show and tell, everybody.
Tron.
Nice. Alan and I really want to watch the original one after seeing Tron Ares. We're like,
well,
let's see.
That's why I'm gonna have Peter stop right there. We're gonna stop with Tron
Legacy.
Nice.
Because and then I want to just preface this real quick. I understand Alexis, and look, I understand the world. Hey, 9 Inch Nails, like Jeff Bridges says in that clip, 9 Inch Nails, man, 9 Inch Nails. But she chose to watch this before going to watch Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm not even surprised. That is exactly what she would do.
Is she in the country currently?
Yes.
Yeah, she's trying to evade capture. Anyway, here's the thing. There were 2 really hilarious reactions. I think the day before Tron Ares opened in theaters. Megan Cruz called it an assault on the senses and one of the worst blockbusters ever made, more or less. Grace Randolph says it wasn't everything she wanted. It's kind of disappointing, but I had a good time. Alexis seemed to, I guess, agree with Grace Randolph. You, David, based on what I've heard you talk about, the thing in passing, maybe seemed to veer more on Megan Cruz's side of things. So I'm always ready for when you two, as you being siblings, you and Alexis have a divide or a difference of opinion when it comes to situations like this. I know, and I'll let you go ahead and do that in a second. However, there's more context to add into this. I think Peter made me watch Tron years and years ago, and it was a really rewarding experience. I will say, Peter always has a really good selection of things, and he always, I think, picks things, if he knows you well enough, that he just knows it's going to be right up your alley. The original Tron is maybe not a great movie, but it is a really unique experience, and it is revolutionary for what they were able to pull off given the time. And I do feel Tron Legacy, which came out in 2010, is highly, well, at least I thought it was until this year, who knows, underappreciated. I thought it was a really, honestly, a top-tier blockbuster from Disney's standpoint. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, that is a level of filmmaking that was at least present, whereas today, it is non-existent. It's huge. There was a 15-year difference between 2010 and 2025. Not the same company whatsoever. Just unrecognizable. And I do feel that they genuinely made a really good Tron movie. There are, of course, drawbacks with that film. And we talked about that, I believe, on To the Table. I'm sure we did on our shows back then. But it came out at a time, and it didn't work out for very different reasons for why the new Tron this year didn't work out. Not the same reasons. But Tron Legacy, I think, really brought it out to life. Oh, this is really cool. We need to explore more of this. And so, because Disney obviously wanted Tron to be their next Star Wars, and they were investing so much money into it, they had also created an animated series called Tron Uprising, which Peter also made me watch, and I loved it. I thought it was a great show, and I was saddened that it was just the one season and it didn't continue going on further. I thought it was a really, really good show, and it also one that added more dimensions to an existing franchise. That was years and years and years ago. When Tron Ares was announced 2 or 3 years ago, Disney had changed fundamentally, and they lost the ability to make good movies, first and foremost. So that baked into the situation, no one should have realistically expected anything good. That's number one. Number two, this is how brain dead the executives at that company are. They hire now 5-time box office jinx Jared Leto to be the lead of their movie. Okay. Strike 3 was they hired the director of Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. That's the 5th one, mind you. The same director that also directed Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, to direct Tron Ares. This movie never had a chance.
Yeah.
This movie was never going to be anything, period. It was never going to be anything.
The director of Tron Legacy had a movie come out this year, F1. Had a movie come out just a year or so before, which was Top Gun Maverick.
Dude, when I found out about that, I was like, oh.
You would think maybe they would say, hey, let's get him back to do another Tron.
And it just goes back to this thing.
God.
Whereas it's not just a Marvel thing, but it's not even just a Star Wars thing. It just seems to be a Disney-wide thing where they refuse to work with anyone who is remotely considered a storyteller or a filmmaker. They just have to regurgitate the same useless, talentless, idiotic, incompetent hacks again and again and again, making bad movie after bad movie, bad show after bad show, and then they're left wondering with egg on their face like, gee, I guess the property isn't popular, so I guess we'll stop making this. Never at all seeing for 1 second that it is the people who they are hiring again and again and again, creating bomb after bomb after bomb.
It's a rot to the core.
It's one of those things where you have to burn it all the way to the ground because this is not getting any better. And the acceleration, it's like almost taking on an acceleration kind of mentality where it's just getting even worse and worse and worse. Because even though this is a through line that we had mentioned in the past couple of months and weeks on you three of us, we're talking about this, right? Which is that Disney's live action films or animated films, yes, they're making billions, but the quality, the level of quality is just continuing to go down, down, down. And at some point, that is going to create long-lasting damage to the brand. It already has to a large extent, and it's continuing to do so. So, David, I know I've been keeping you on hold. But I think I just wanted to clarify. I'm pretty sure that's all the things that I just said are part of why Peter didn't even give this movie a chance. I know he was probably curious about watching it. If it had gotten good reviews, maybe would have been somewhat entertained to go see it. But knowing what
I'll
it
be
was,
honest, it was 95% Jared Leto.
Oh,
He's just, I can't stand, because I even liked a lot of the trailers. It's just then they would show his face and it's just like, oh my God. Like, it's not even that he's in the movie, right? If he's a side character, yeah, whatever, fine. He might even be good at it, you know? Do his Mario voice. I don't give a fuck. But it's the fact that he's the lead character. Like they're making him the fucking hero of the Tron universe. It's like, oh, kill me, you know? That's the shit that's just annoying. It just annoys me.
Jared Leto has had one of the most incredible downfalls. I don't think maybe ever.
He's
like,
not
right?
charismatic.
No.
He doesn't have charisma, especially to be like leading a film. He can do weird, goofy things in the corner. Fine, that's perfectly fine. But don't give him the main.
And it's not
whatever.
like to me with the whole Jared Leto situation. It's like it's not as if there aren't already like huge swaths of people on the internet that are like complaining about him. They do for various reasons. It just so happens that in like Jared Leto attracts so much internet hate, and all of a sudden, movie studios and the media are blind to that. But when there's a lot of online internet hate toward a female of color like Rachel Zegler, all of a sudden, the media has to write endless articles.
We need to write 70 articles about her for a made-up hysteria, anger.
There was an article that was printed this year, I want to say on the New York Post, about they're trying to spinning it as if Rachel Zegler was creating more controversy because of a stage show she was doing and how she chose not to use a balcony.
Again, but again, 90% of the, not even 90, 100% of the people that probably commented angry about it do not give two shits about the specific plays in general, musicals, just anything that has anything to do with it. It's just, oh, here's a reason to hate Rachel Zegler. Why? Because 100% it's misogyny. They just enjoy having
and misogyny
a target.
sells.
Misogyny, but then also just, hate clicks. They want to get the views. And
it allows that outlet basically to just all of that anger and hatred. Here's an acceptable target that we've decided we can just let all that out on.
Where are all the articles that are proclaiming that Jared Leto's career is over? Like, is that ever gonna happen? Because I mean, he legitimately has had some of the worst box office disasters. Isn't it a pretty legendary run? Meanwhile, any little thing that Rachel Zegler does, they make it her fault, and when she has an odd hit here and there, they're just silent. Turn a cheek.
Yeah,
they're silent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? To be fair, here's a Hollywood Reporter. No one asked for this reboot. Tron may mark end of Jared Leto's franchise leading days. Okay, to be fair, they actually printed that article.
Franchise leading days.
Franchise leading days, yeah. Not his career.
Just being the lead of a franchise. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, David, go ahead. How was your experience with Tron Ares? Did you expect much to begin with? And
I didn't.
You seem pretty animated about this. Something about this clearly you did not like.
No, yeah, I spoiled myself with the movie before watching it because I was like, it's not gonna be good. And sure enough, yeah, it wasn't good. And I think because of that, I did have fun with the movie a little bit.
I mean, I'm sure. Is the score worth it to hear in a theater system?
It's just, you gotta watch the movie though. That's the thing. That's the problem. So I think you're just better off, listening to it afterwards and just kind of listen to it in order, because it was, the soundtrack was when I was kind of like dancing to the beat of it and all that, and there were moments they put a song from Depeche Mode in that, which I got super excited about, and I even danced to it.
I'm sure she was like,
yeah.
Yep.
And so the music moments were really fun for us. I was laughing at certain bits because there were some funny bits, but afterwards I had to like convince Ale, hey, it doesn't matter how much fun we had. There is major problems with this movie, story wise, dialogue wise,
Which is
plot-wise.
fair. Look, can I stop you real quick? It's fair to have all of that be a part of the discussion because I mean, and Peter and I can attest to this. There is a film that I swear to God, to this day, I look back on fondly for what an incredible time we had watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not a good movie at all, and that is Cats.
Yeah.
Cats was an amazing time. We were laughing like hysterically. The things that would be happening. It is one of the most. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this, and Peter, I think, can back me up. We had a far better time laughing at Cats than we did sitting through Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and
They
that's
wanted to murder us. It was awesome.
it's also just really fun to like kind of ask yourself like, why did I have more fun with this and not with this? Because I watched like Captain America: Brave New World. There's actually one movie I just saw recently. Brave, Big, Bold, Beautiful Adventure or something like that.
A great big. No, that's
No.
sorry.
Hold on.
Big.
Alexis
Big-
was thinking about another movie.
The Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow is. That's a song from Tomorrowland, Disneyland.
Mhm.
I know you're talking about the movie with Colin Farrell
Farrell.
and Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, and that one I didn't like the movie, sadly. But it's like, what, like, how is it that I had fun with Tron Ares, even though it's a worse movie than Big Bold Beautiful Journey and all that? It's like, what the heck is going on here? It's always just fun for me at least to like ask myself those kinds of things. Like, I mean, I guess this was fun and all that. But yeah, it's just, for one thing. So Ares character, the character Ares, he's basically like the AI who is gaining feelings and all that, and they rush through that storyline just like from the very 5 seconds from his.
They cast Jared Leto as a character that was supposed to gain feelings and act like he had feelings.
Well, here's the thing, like Jared Leto, he wasn't great in this movie and all that, but like, oh my gosh, I can see like if there was just a better director here who can like guide him, he could have been great. Like I can see that right on that, unlike the other characters where I'm kind of like, you got bad direction or you just can't act. Like I can't see the potential here. I'm sorry. That's with
I will say, for all my hatred of Jared Leto, he is the lead of one of my favorite films of all time. So there is something there.
Yeah,
it's just
he has shown good acting skills and all that. But you watch him in this movie, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, you're right there. You could have given me a good performance, but I don't know what the heck is going on. Again, I don't know if it's a director or maybe he just half-assing this. I don't know. But yeah, they rushed through his character arc of sorts of gaining feelings, and basically he's Tron. That's basically what they were trying to do. But for some reason,
into the main character.
Yeah, but for some reason they didn't want to put Tron himself in it. And as the movie went along, I was like, I really wish they'd just go more and more ridiculous. I was waiting for them to be like, all right, if the villain is sending out these, the red grid people, we'll send out our own. And you're gonna see like a whole battle of the reds versus blues and all that or something like that. I was like, we could have gotten bigger with this. Come on. But they didn't. And that was pretty.
It's funny. I mean, look, I just saw on my Twitter feed a clip of the last shot of Tron Legacy with the main actor who no one remembers his name, but Olivia Wilde behind him on a motorcycle. And it's funny how that looks like it's from a movie. Whereas, you see...
again, it was made. I think it's definitely a film that's lacking some things, but there was real thought put into it.
Mm-hmm.
There's something, because if you notice, all of the scenes during the real world in Tron Legacy are all at night. And of course, in the world of Tron, there is no sun, so it's all like dark. It was very deliberate to have like that first shot that you see with what's her name in the real world experiencing the sun for the very time, also be the first time that the audience sees the sun for the first time within the film. So you sort of feel that sort of shock with her.
Sounds like filmmaking 101.
Yes, it's like basic things, right? Where it's like, okay, like there was some level of thought put into the construction of this film. And it actually, there was a shit ton of thought put into it, because the modern aesthetic of Tron comes entirely from Tron Legacy. Like, they put a lot of thought into what the world would look like modernized, which is really fucking cool. But yeah, from what I'm hearing, it's not surprising, especially for modern Disney and the live action bull. Like, for the faults of their other
studios,
other
like Disney, Marvel, Marvel,
for all of those, just their solo live action shit is by far the worst. By far the worst part of the company.
It's a pretty impressive run of like some of the worst movies that will ever be made.
That was actually
that will ever be made.
That's really part of the conversation now that we're having, because she was going on a bit like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, and all that. And I'm like, yeah, true, because we listened to that one TikTok reviewer, not Grace, but the other one,
Megan,
and we were listening to it in the car. And yeah, there were some things that I'm kind of
and she tore it to shreds.
Yeah.
She was angry at the movie.
Yeah, like she mentioned how she couldn't hear the dialogue or anything, and because apparently they were purposely putting the music louder than the dialogue.
Hey, I wouldn't argue against that, considering what the movie is,
No, yeah, and I was kind of like, I had no problems with the dialogue. I could hear perfectly. I don't know what you're talking about, and I had more issues with the hearing the dialogue in Across the Spider-Verse than I did with this movie. And so I was kind of like, okay, you're kind of overreaching here. I also don't like it when...
Let me play this part. This is what you're talking about.
Without question, one of the worst big budget blockbusters I've ever seen in my life. It is not just bad, it is an affront and an assault to literally all of the senses. And I genuinely can't believe that this is the final product that's being released.
I don't like this
We
lady.
talk a lot about hyperbole on this app, right? Everyone's
worst.
so mad at critics. Nobody likes how the internet discourse is so extreme on both sides. Everything's either the worst thing ever or the best thing ever, right? I get you. I agree with a lot of it, okay? We're all working for this algorithm. But we have to be able to acknowledge when things are setting a new bar, a new low bar, a new standard. From a studio like Disney, this absolutely is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. The fact that this is what passes for a major big budget blockbuster these days is genuinely depressing. The fact that this is coming from a studio like Disney that has previously reached like massive highs with their blockbusters like Pirates of the Caribbean, the Princess Diaries, even early MCU that was universally beloved by both critics and audiences. This movie says to me that they think that you're stupid. They think that their audience is too stupid to know the difference. As long as there's enough pretty flashing lights on screen and really, really loud music.
I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but I will say I do think ultimately the problem really does lie with just the modern day suits that they have as producers, specifically with Disney. I think they're the real stupid people, to tell you the truth, because for something like this to just go, now it could just be that they have very low expectations. But you know what, Peter, in fairness to you, fine. You don't like this lady for your own stupid, dumb reasons, but I will go ahead and play someone who I'm sure you have a much higher regard for.
Let me see.
Tron is a little bit like this vest that I ordered off of Amazon. You can have a good time with it. It's not exactly what I wanted. It could be better, but it's good enough, and I'm having a good time with it. That's how I would describe it, right?
And then here's Breakfast All Day, Alonzo and Christy.
Gonna go for the music and the visuals and just look at it like it's a 2-hour-long music video for the latest 9 Inch Nails album. This is like your Taylor Swift experience, right? You go to watch the music.
All right, David.
No, but yeah, all the characters were just kind of useless in this whole movie. They were rushing through most of the plot.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Exposition dumps everywhere. Even though some parts, they delivered it well, it was fine. But other parts, no, it was just, we gotta get.
So you've
moving.
never seen Tron or Tron Legacy?
I've seen Tron Legacy and I've seen Tron Uprising, but I haven't seen the original Tron. Okay. And so I liked Tron Legacy. It was cool. I mean, I like both things. They were really cool. And
you saw the show, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he just said that.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, what else? I think the fights.
Peter, can you get your face out of the microphone? It is being obstructed completely. Like it's almost perfectly obstructing your face to the point where it's like we can tell you're doing it on purpose. It's not incompetence on your part. You're not that dumb. Go ahead, David.
The visuals were fine. Fights were fine. But ever since I learned that the guy who did Tron Uprising also did, Top Gun Maverick, I'm like, oh, you've improved so much and you could have done some great things with this movie. And so, either way, everything just could have been better. And then and then my biggest just complaint really is just Tron is literally not in this movie. Like, and there were so many moments where I was like, oh, you could bring him up here. You could bring him up here. You could have done this with him. It's just all potential of this movie was just going down the drain as the movie went on. So, yeah, it was bad. Again, I weirdly, I did have fun with this. I don't know if it was just because like my sister's reactions or maybe just 9 Inch Nails. But it's a really bad movie and I'm glad it's bombing. And I am sad though that, we're probably not going to get another Tron movie ever.
I wouldn't be sad. Look, this is why well, I mean, I'm sad about that. Tron, it should be a franchise that should be big because I think it's great. Disney's just never going to get a handle on it though. So it's like one of those things like, are we going to cry over spilled milk? Like they're going to continue to spill it again and again, and they're not going to have the sense enough to actually do anything interesting with it. So it is what it is, right? Yeah. And this is kind of where we are. And before we move on to the review, Peter, go ahead and show us your other steelbook that you acquired. That was so rare.
Oh my god. Superman.
Nice.
Got it from a Canadian seller on eBay. Thank you, Canada.
I thought we were at war with them.
I don't know if we're at war with that anymore. I also got the mask.
That's cool.
Wow.
I got Alexis J. Soto's favorite film of the year. The Fantastic Four.
Nice.
And one that none of you will know, but I love it. It is the
I was giving
Elliott
Peter crap
collection.
Earlier because he got rid of the Blu-rays for the 2 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He deemed them no longer valuable in his collection, but he goes ahead and invites Fantastic Four, which is the most nothing burger of a movie, maybe the whole year. Am I misrepresenting things, Peter? You seem to be a little bit guffawed at what I just said.
So the Adam Elliott collection, it includes the films Mary and Max and Memoir of a Snail. 2 of my favorite films of all time, and which, at the very least, Mary and Max, I have talked about endlessly on here. Stop motion films. But yes.
Nice.
Now we can talk about whatever bullshit Alexis was saying.
I believe the time has now come for us to talk about the latest and greatest movie by Paul Thomas Anderson. Peter will then go ahead and read the description, which will mispronounce certain people's names. Eventually.
One battle after another. Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Some search for battle. Others are born into it. When their evil nemesis resurfaces after 16 years, a band of ex-revolutionaries unite to rescue the daughter of one of their own. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Chase Infinity, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, and Tiana Taylor. David, tell us your thoughts.
Let's go ahead and provide a little bit of the background here. Paul Thomas Anderson, at this point, this is his 10th feature film. I believe he's in his 50s. He has more than established himself as, I think, a darling of a lot of film bros, for sure.
Of course.
He has made a lot of, really interesting films in the indie circuit, well, quote unquote indie circuit, but have had such mainstream appeal. Movies like Boogie Nights, or Magnolia, Inherent Vice, or Punch Drunk Love, whatever it is, and of course, There Will Be Blood, probably most famous among them. I didn't see any of those movies. So just putting that out there. I have, however, seen his more recent work around the time that I was beginning to explore more kinds of movies and stories. So the first, I think, PTA movie that I had ever seen was Phantom Thread. And it was such an interesting experience because I was like falling asleep in the movie theater watching that movie, but it wasn't because the movie was putting me to sleep. It was because I was just legitimately so tired. Peter can attest to this because he does this many times. So
name one time.
So the thing is, I was like falling asleep of it, but I was like really interested in what was happening, and I was like, oh, this is a really fucked up story, but also kind of interesting. Watched Licorice Pizza. Somebody here was invited to attend a certain premiere. He did not choose to attend, so he kind of lost out on that.
But
it was
choose to attend?
Yeah, you chose not to go.
I wasn't invited.
Yeah, right. You can only say that so many times before it strains credulity, That's like, you're always going to cry like,
what
I wasn't invited.
About?
Oh my God. Of course.
You're implying that I made a choice not to go.
Yeah, you always do. You always choose not to go.
Invited.
Like, seriously. Come on.
I was not invited. Why are you pretending like I was?
Man, the psychosis is really just embarrassing here at this point. Okay. Really embarrassing. Anyway, that was a really fun experience to go and see Licorice Pizza there. So yeah, David, what's your background with Paul Thomas Anderson?
I gotta be honest, I think this might be the only movie I've ever seen of his.
Good. Okay, Peter, what is your background with Paul Thomas Anderson?
All of them, all the movies.
Cool. Well, we experienced one battle after another. Peter, go ahead.
David, go ahead.
This was really good. I loved everything about it.
Why did you listen to him?
I don't know. It's just...
Did you not hear? I asked him to go first. I didn't ask you. Why are you taking orders from him?
Originally, I had said, David, go ahead and give your thoughts. And then
I went
butted
into this
in.
with this in mind. All of a sudden it occurred to me. No, listen to me. Listen, shut up. Shush. All of a sudden it just occurred to me. when did you get to dictate who gets to go first? And why do you always go last yourself?
Dictating?
No, seriously, no. I thought it was my job as you say, the hostess with the mostest, right, to decide the order in which people go. But you know what it is? I just realized for fucking years, you took this whole reading the letterbox description as a way to cover yourself from going first and to ensure that you go last during these reviews.
Many times you will complain and say, I don't want to go first. And then I will just give my thoughts and not cry about it like other people. So
name one time.
I don't know where this attitude is coming from.
Name one time.
When we reviewed The Lion King.
What? Excuse me?
Yeah.
The Lion King?
Yes.
Okay, elaborate.
Go back and listen to that review.
I'm not going to listen to that.
Okay,
I'm tell you right now. Why would I listen to something when you can just tell me yourself what exactly was happening?
I did tell you what happened. You don't want to go first, and then you say, no, you go, and I'm like, okay, I'll go. And then I give my thoughts first.
Then why don't you just do that?
Very, very often. Because I had asked David his thoughts, as I thought this was a discussion.
You asked
and
David his thoughts as a way to deflect from you
happy.
going off first. No, don't
David
try to turn this around on me.
Happy.
I think people could see very clearly what was happening here.
I think people can
You're
see
using
very
the letterbox descriptions as a way to deflect from you going first in these, when you could have done that first from the very beginning. So I don't understand why this is even an issue to begin with. It's like
someone here is clinically insane.
You get called out on your bullshit, and then all of a sudden you're calling everybody else insane.
I literally just asked someone how they felt about the movie.
That's the
they
first
were more
thing you
than
do
happy to
every
talk
time.
about.
When was the last time you went
movie.
first? When was the last time you went
like
first?
50% of the time.
Name the last time.
The last time it was probably like 2 movies ago.
Which was what?
I don't remember offhand every movie we reviewed.
Liar, betrayer, fake news. Yours not a word that should be trusted.
You know what? I can pull it up right here. If you want to play that game.
Sure, go ahead. Pull it up for you. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Mickey 17. It happened with Mickey 17. It happened with Companion.
How do you know this?
Jurassic
Excuse
World.
Me, are you just pulling up names out of a hat? Like, how do you know this happened for a fact?
No.
How? No.
This
how can
100% did happen.
An encyclopedic memory of all of these conversations, and just like this, memorize if you went first or not. Are you looking at the clips right now? Are you literally going through every video? Because if you're not doing that, nothing of what you're seeing right now, why would we believe it?
You asked for when it happened, and I told you when.
And I'm calling you a liar. You
can do it. You can call me a liar, but you would be wrong.
The only expert
people
in being
who
wrong here is
anyone
you.
who listens to this,
anyone who
are
listens
publicly
to this
available.
long enough
They
would
can go
know
and listen,
that your
and they can
word
know how
is
full
as
of shit you
slippery
are.
as the president of the United States. Every time
He's
you
not
get
slippery at
cornered,
all.
every time you get cornered,
He's
what
too
did
big.
you say? Every time you get cornered into that's true. But anytime you get cornered into a wall, you just start to make shit up. Don't you remember how years ago?
In what world have I been cornered?
I had your ass on a wall.
We were having
when I had the receipts.
Perfectly fine
Letterbox
conversation.
Remember how Letterbox said that
and then
you were a
you just
filthy
had like
liar
a
and said
schizophrenic
that a
episode
TV
and
show
lost your
was not the
mind.
same thing as a movie? You were for years
And then you just
years and years
lost your
saying
mind.
that anything that was on Letterbox was considered a film, and yet I had the
correct.
receipts. No, you were incorrect. I had the receipts that
was
said
correct.
that Letterbox personally responded to me saying that no, not everything on our service necessarily qualifies as a film. And how did you respond? You called me freaking Chris Cuomo as a gotcha interviewer, as if I didn't just exactly prove you completely wrong.
You in no way proved me wrong. If it's on Letterboxd, it is a film. It is a website for films. There is no... I cannot go on right now and put Seinfeld in my top 10.
Sure, Peter, whatever you want to tell yourself in your fantasy Delulu land. All right, then, well, Peter is not going to go first because he is being a petulant child about it. So, David, I guess, is going to have to go first.
We were having a perfectly fine conversation until you lost your mind.
David, I apologize for that rude and unnecessary remark by Peter. Clearly, he's having an emotional episode. So go ahead.
Who was I being rude to? Certainly not David.
You just said that I lost my mind. Clearly, that's not
a factual
somebody
statement.
of sound mind and body would say at this point.
That's a factual statement.
That's a
regarding
rude
the
remark, an insulting remark, and not one that should
minutes.
be taken seriously. David, look, just go ahead and tell me what you thought of this movie, since somebody else just doesn't want to really go first.
Derailed the conversation for no reason.
Yeah, I really liked it. Again, this is fairly certain this is my first Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
You can just say PTA. Just call him PTA. That's his acronym.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I really liked it. All the characters were absolutely great. Leo is always fantastic, funniest character of them all, and I just generally enjoyed the story of, you know, this man trying to like find his father, of this man trying to find his daughter. And it was just all craziness and fun, and you know, it just didn't. I know there's, you know, conversations of the whole message of the story, the political views of it all, but honestly, that was secondary for me. Like, I didn't really care as much as I did for the main story. So, but yeah, this is just all around good fun. Peter,
if you don't mind, David, I do want to push you on something if I can. I don't disagree with what you're saying.
I would never push you, David.
I don't disagree with what you're saying about, you know, the separate. Look, there are a lot of people who are gleaming on to what it might be saying politically, but ultimately, I think this is a story about a father and a daughter, going through this really tumultuous time, and on that level, it is a great time. I do want to ask though, because it kind of sounded like you didn't care really at all about like any of the things that were in the film that felt like they may be, you know, happening right now in real life. Like, it didn't really resonate with you.
No. Yeah, it resonated with me, but like in terms of like the whole story of it all, I just enjoyed the parts of him.
Right, it was secondary to the
secondary.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's
gotcha.
I was about to say like I didn't care, but I was like, no, that's not it. That's too harsh. It's like it was secondary for me. You know, I did enjoy seeing those bits, especially the whole what's his name? The sensei.
Benicio.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro's like whole thing of what he's doing underground and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that part of that whole bit was super, super fun to watch. And, you know, I say secondary because I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, I get what you mean. You know, one battle after another. Like it's basically what the title implies. And when you're seeing what everyone is doing in terms of, you know, fighting against any sort of racism or.
I mean, one could also say that is pretty much parenthood in a nutshell, right? One battle after another.
Mm-hmm. That's true too.
That's it. There could be a double meaning to that title. Thank you, David, for your thoughts. Peter, would you like to go next? Or do you have anything to say about David's thoughts on the movie?
I think you had wonderful thoughts, David. Like I said, I would never push you. And I think if you wanted to just sort of enjoy the filmmaking elements of the more personal drama between the characters and not hyper focus on the politics, I think that's more than a valid way to watch the film. And damn anyone that would
You
try to
say
make
that
you
as
feel
if
bad.
that is somehow in opposition to what I am saying. I wanted David to just further elaborate his thoughts on it, because at first glance, it did sound to my ear as if perhaps he was just casually throwing away other elements of the movie, which is not what he was doing. He very clearly just now eloquently stated,
I give David much more credit than you do.
The primary storyline, it's not about giving credit or not. It's about just making sure we're all given a chance to explain ourselves the best that we possibly can be. And I think David
I thought he did a great job originally.
I think it's perfectly fine if the aspect of the film that he enjoyed the most, this is got to be so awkward for David right now. I think it's perfectly fine that the aspect of the movie he enjoyed the most was the familial stuff, because that's ultimately, the truest part of the story that came from the filmmaker. One of the interesting, I guess you could say, tidbits or facts about PTA is that, he used to be married to Maya Rudolph, and he has, I believe, two. Didn't they used to? Are they still married?
I've been hearing that they're still married.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very much still married.
Okay. Well, there are plenty of people who have kids that are not married. Okay. And the information that I got it from did not specify as to whether or not they were actually together still.
But you assumed
the way that they were talking
weren't.
about it. So, anywho, the whole thing of Leo, who is white, having a daughter who is half black, is very much just very like what PTA's actual life is. And so really most of what this movie really is just like, okay, this is PTA's like, struggling to
more like a quarter, right?
Struggling. I'm sorry, what?
Because my root is
half
black.
Sure. I mean, are we really gonna, does it really matter to specify between a quarter or a half? I mean, I guess some of the characters in this film, I think, would care a lot about the ratio of how much, I guess, black would there be in a particular person because, of that cultist white supremacy group that they're a part of. But
do you love black girls?
I don't know why oh my God. and we're off here. So no, I wasn't criticizing David at all for what he was.
The correct answer is I love him.
There. And Peter is now derailing the entire conversation because I do not know what to do with that. And notice how he just took a deliberate shot there and was basically twisting what David had said as a way to attack me. So
what? What are you even saying?
So Peter, do you want to go ahead and give us your thoughts on the movie?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great.
I have seen this movie twice in a theater with actually a good amount of people, I would say both times, which has surprised me.
Yes.
I thought at least the second time it would be like empty, but it wasn't. It was actually had a good amount of people. I loved it. I haven't stopped thinking about this movie. Might be my favorite of the year. I just think it's fantastic. Especially on that second viewing, the thing that I notice is, god damn, does it just move? Like, it's not that it's a fast-paced movie. It's just such a well-edited movie where I do not feel that 45-hour runtime. Not 45-minute, 2-hour, 45-minute runtime at all. Like, it feels 40 minutes shorter just because of it's just so well edited. You see this a lot with Scorsese films where they're the longest fucking movies in the world, but the editing is just pitch perfect, where it just the time flows by. It's so well directed. It's one of those movies, I really know I love it because there's just little moments that I'll find myself going like, God damn, I love that. Little character ticks and like just certain things they say, phrases, movements. I get captivated by the whole thing. It's I don't know, it's cinema with a capital K, right? I love it. I really, really do. And then yeah, as far as the political aspect, I do think it's funny that right wingers kind of lost their mind about it. Because I don't know that it's, I'll put it this way. It's definitely not saying that hardcore conservatism is the way to go. I guess for sure, I would say that's not the message, obviously. But a lot of people saying like it's a movie about going to go kill people, and it's like it's really not.
No.
It's about sort of kind of not knowing how to fix the world, I think. And you do what you think you can, and a lot of times it's just a big fucking mess. And inevitably you're going to fail. But there's just that hope of the next generation can do something about it. Just never giving up hope in trying to make the world a better place.
You can even see that in the last moments of the movie. And yes, full spoilers at this point, okay? So if not, fuck off. The last moment of the film, Chase Infinity, I believe Willa, is reading the letter from her mom. You can even also kind of extrapolate that as just a letter to PTA, as a letter to his kids about like, okay, this is the world we're going to give you now. We failed to do anything good really about it. Maybe you guys can. It's kind of that passing the torch down to the next generation, you know?
That's what, it's so funny that people are like, oh, it's saying that, you know, you need to go out and be a violent revolutionary. When the violent revolutionaries failed.
Yeah, they all failed. They're all not,
and they were
great people.
Pretty not great people. Like they had a lot of flaws, especially the sort of central character, not character, but central individual of this film, which is, you know, Perfidia. Of course, Perfidia. You know, she's a very, very complex, to say the least, character. So I do think it's funny that people, they take away a very specific political idea from the film when it's like, I think it's so much more complicated than that. It is, yeah, I don't know.
No, yeah, I definitely been hating that part of the conversation where they want to, yeah, like you said, they think that being a revolutionary is cool. The movie thinks being a revolutionary is cool, but it really isn't. It's tough. There are some tough decisions that even Perfidia has to make. That is the mom, right? Or was that Chase?
Yes. Yeah, Perfidia. Okay. Well, there's always, to me, one of the greatest juxtapositions.
Perfidia Beverly Hills. You will never forget that name. Perfidia Beverly Hills. That's her name.
I just remember Jungle Pussy.
Yeah. Or Lockjaw.
No more pussy.
No more pussy.
No more
you know, but no, I just, to me, I think a great example of that is, you know, they're out there shooting guns, having a good time. She's like, ooh, feel like Tony Montana. But the first and really only real moments of violence, like specifically like murdering other people, that happen with, you know, the French 75 or whatever, is in that bank shootout scene. And it's not played as cool or great. It's a fucked up situation, right? Like it's not.
The second she shoots that guy, a black guy, mind you, it's not like,
yeah, you know, I think it's very deliberate, you know, who they got to play the guard, and then also the fact that it was a guard, the fact that you don't see that first shot, right? Like you don't I don't know. I just think that it's like there's it's not that I liked this movie that much. It's not a terrible movie, but the remake of that war movie, that World War I movie, what's it called?
You mean All Quiet?
All Quiet on the Western Front, right? Like there's a massive juxtaposition between being young and saying like, oh man, I can't wait to go to war. It's going to be so much fun. And then being in war. And then people start to die. And you know, like there's that, I feel like that movie kind of had that juxtaposition, you know, at the beginning, right? Like, I don't know. To me, it's not very cut and dry.
Can I ask you
what the movie's trying to be?
This is actually a really interesting conversation because, like, and I feel like a lot of a person's personal politics and what they bring to
it'll always influence
can definitely color how you feel because you know, to me, and this is just who I am. I just feel that the film, whether it was trying to be this or not, was a damning indictment on the American empire. A damning indictment.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Oh hell yeah.
The evil of conservatism and also, I mean, there are many instances in which I felt this is a really, really bad look, and I think accurate look for a lot of people in power that run not just this country but in the world. It's littered throughout everywhere. I mean, the whole secret society of the Christmas Adventurers Club and those white supremacists who are literally all over every agency of our law enforcement, and as well as the thugs on the Supreme Court, who in my view should be impeached and arrested and kicked out of the country. That's just me anyway.
ICE.
And that's to say nothing of ICE, who is inciting so much violence and inhumanity everywhere you look. I mean, literally in the middle of the film, you had whatever troop agency or law enforcement that they were, of course, in their technical gear about to like stir shit up in Backton Cross, and Lockjaw gives the go-ahead for a saboteur to go on the other end dressed as a protester and literally throw a Molotov cocktail to start a fire. That way it gives the troops the excuse to go ahead and beat the crap and arrest people. And then I think to me one of the more accurate moments that really exposes the kind of individual that people really have a distaste for, that so often finds themselves in law enforcement. Not to say that every person is like this, because they're not. There are plenty of good people who do sign up to protect people. I don't want to take anything away from that, but by and large, there is a certain type of individual who has a certain sense of arrogance, either by virtue of being part of that group, because they acquired it because they were in that association or they came to it. But there is, when they capture Perfidia Beverly Hills and like they're all huddled up behind her while she's wheeled to, I guess, a court appearance or to prison or whatever it is. And they're all fucking like, they're all high-fiving each other, laughing, chuckling, taking selfies, like, yeah, we got you, bitch. And I'm like, well, you guys just come off like the pettiest bitches that ever,
in their defense, in their eyes, they just caught a murderer, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure, they just caught a murderer. Mm-hmm. I don't, and this is the other side of it too. Yeah, well, say, you want to play devil's advocate there too, but mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know. I guess to me, shouldn't there be more dignity than that? That, I think to me that was such a crass thing to do. It's like just to take pleasure in. I mean, you brutalized this person there. Yeah, she's a murderer, but it's like, to me, there's just certain ways to handle. I mean, to me, it kind of reminds me of like what's happening right now with certain agents brutalizing any people in their way just to get to certain targets, and when let the chips fall where they may about who is harmed and who's not. And I feel like
the best example of that would be later on in the film where they're just, what's his name is looking to just cover up his little menage a trois with a mixed individual. Well, she wasn't mixed, but they had a mixed child, and he's literally invading an entire fucking city.
Yeah,
just to fulfill whatever.
He literally says, "Find me a reason to be there."
Yeah.
And then they go in there. So it's like there were many of instances throughout the movie where I'm like, I mean, even just the evils of like a lot of these organizations that do exist in reality about white supremacists and how they talk about other races with such inferiority. And I don't know. There's a lot of things in the film that and it felt very much resonant. I think as inhabitants of let's just say an area that we happen to be quite familiar with, a border community.
Did they
the
film
opening
here?
moments of the movie felt like they that's a good question.
When Perfidia literally crossed over to Mexico, I swear that looked exactly like the border crossing here. Like the sound of those fucking bars turning is like it sounds exactly like the fucking ones I've heard my whole life. Like I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the desert moments and the border one is like probably filmed where you guys are at. And then I mean going back to like the things that were bothering me about some people's reviews about it or like how they view it. The ones that bothered me the most was with the daughter, where they automatically just start saying like, "Oh, it's girl boss. You know, she can do anything." But I'm like, did you even watch the movie? She gets dragged literally from birth. She's just dragged everywhere by by every other adult because of their situation. Gets saved.
It's the sins of the past that kind of fuck up her life, you know.
And then she gets saved in the end.
I'm sorry, but fuck off with the. I mean, why are you always obsessed with things that might? So what if we have things that are girl boss? Like, get over your fucking selves.
That's another thing too.
Like, why is that the end all be all? I mean, okay, let's just say there is a movie, and she's a girl boss. So fucking what? Fucking what?
There are so many endless films where the entire point of the film is just this guy's a badass and look at how cool and badass he is.
That's Reacher,
right? And it's like
that's the show Reacher.
Is fucking John Wick. That's fucking that's 90% of like movies starring dudes, like action films and stuff. It's like look at what a badass cool dude he is.
No, yeah.
But not only that, the de facto lead is really Chase Infinity's character.
No, yeah, for sure. She
which is cool. I think, especially you see it by the end, because it's not like she's like this hardcore badass or anything, but she's able to get herself out of the mess that she was in, and it ends with her, right? Because it is sort of this generational story. That's, I feel, I'm sure he said that too, but it's kind of obvious. That's where also the whole title of One Battle After Another comes from, right? Like it's sort of, it's this generational epic. You start with, these two people, specifically her mother, and then you sort of follow the consequences that just sort of stack against her, right? And you can sort of pull out and see that in a societal level, right? Like all the bullshit of the past, our generation is dealing with it. The next generation is going to deal with whatever bullshit we lay down. And that's the way it is. And, hopefully with each generation, you work to make the world a better place. You'll probably fail, but you just keep doing one battle after another, right? Not always literal battle, but it's to me it's like multiple layers to what it's saying and what it's trying to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then she absolutely killed it when she had to kill that one guy from.
Oh yeah,
that part was, I think that was probably the best moment, honestly, for the movie, because like I said, she has to deal with all the bullshit others have dealt with her dad's, her mom's, and just everyone else within the French 75. And again, people want to say it's like, oh, it's a girl boss moment and all that, but it's like, again, are you paying attention to the movie? Like, that's a tragic moment. That's not a triumphant moment or a badass moment.
It's a really fucked up moment. Yeah, like she screams in agony because
everyone dealt to her. She had to kill someone.
Yeah,
you know. And again, nobody was excited about that dude's death. It was just, yeah, sure, it was ignored, but that was only because Leo's character is more worried about his daughter. And then that moment when she does see her dad, and she has to decide, like, can I trust him? You know, it took me a second too, because she does the whole, you know, like, whatever the coding is, she tells him first.
Well, she asks, like, who are you, right? She's been on such a fucked up journey where she has to even question, like, who you are. In my first thought, it was this thing of like, oh, she doesn't recognize him, but I think she does. She's just at a loss for who she can even trust. In that moment, it's such a fucking, you know, roller coaster of emotions she's been on. She just killed someone like 2 seconds earlier. Yeah. Right? So, no. Chase Infinity's great. Yeah, she's really great because a lot of the movie she has to sort of carry with just like facial expressions, you know? But no, she's a star. You can tell she's gonna be a lot more stuff.
I like the moment though where she gets to the church, and that woman looks at her, and she goes like, "Oh, you look like your no."
Yeah, what? I look like my mom?
No, yeah, it was something. No, I can't remember what the nun said, but the daughter goes like, "Oh, do I look like her?" And she goes, "No, but I can tell you're like her, and that's dangerous." And it's like, but she was kind of like excited to hear like, "Oh, do I look like my mom?" But then she says no, and she like, you know, you just completely gets sad, and I guess even more sad because she finds out her mom's a rat. And like,
that's also I mean, talking about maybe the best fucking performance in the movie, Sean Penn. He has such a weird fucked up thing with her because like he's literally saying like, don't you talk badly about your mother, she was a warrior, right? Like he has some like this weird fucked up attraction to the idea that she was willing to like go out and like fight, you know, like this idea of like she's a warrior, who gives a fuck if she's on the opposite side of my war, like it's basically it's hot. Sean Penn gave such an amazing. He should win the Oscar. He really should for supporting. I'm voting for him. That fucking walk, man. The laughter in the theater when his goofy ass walked over that hill covered in blood, still fucking alive. Everyone's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's actually my one complaint of the movie, because I was kind of like, oh shoot, they gotta deal with him next, but then it just time skips and all that. I'm like, okay, I think you could have probably cut that part then. I don't know.
Just leave him dead.
No, I mean,
but that's why I feel
it could have been like a shot to the car upside down and then fade in to the office, and you see him alive, and it's like, oh shoot, okay, he lived through that.
So you have an issue with him, that specific scene of him walking?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's essential. It's hilarious. Okay. It plays well every time. I love it so much. That fucking walk. Oh. Mr. Soto?
I'm sorry, I was just having such a good time just like sitting back and listening to you guys go off about it. No, it is yeah, I'll tell you, it's an incredible piece of filmmaking. I think it is, to me, everything what I would want cinema to be. And what I like a lot about this film is that very clearly it's speaking to a lot in society. It's also speaking to a lot of humanity. So much, I think, to me, there's a lot of ways you can characterize a lot of what happens in the film as far as, you know, substance-wise is concerned. One of the ways that I choose to read it is how you can find your own humanity in a world that has so little of it. And I feel one of the things, look, beside all the wonderful performances, Leo, Benicio, Chase, Teyona, of course, Sean Penn, I gotta say, this is one of the films where every actor that appeared on screen, whether it be a big part or a small part, killed it, crushed it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
should all be. And by the way, this is why the stupid ass Screen Actors Guild Awards are awful individuals for only allowing a certain number of cast members in a film to be eligible to even receive a trophy when you award your best ensemble cast. To me, one battle after another is the definition of an amazing ensemble cast, and every single person who came into the picture had one moment and then just left for the rest of the film should be included. Even all the small side characters that were in Backton Cross, that whole with the nurses that were in the hospital helping Leo get out of prison, or Benicio's entire rally, those people are also essential to this part of the film. Even Lockjaw's underlings to themselves were quite intimidating and threatening. Like even the nuns that were in a very small part of the film, but yet very impactful. Like every actor here makes the most of what they are given, and that's one of PTA's strong suits. And so when we have an award that is literally about actors, and there is an award that is about giving, okay, which movie had the best ensemble cast, give it to every fucking person who is on the cast list, bitch. Don't just like, oh, well, they didn't have enough screen time, so we're not going to count them. Fuck that. But truly memorable, legendary performances. Characters that are going to be, I think, very well remembered. I think it's one of the few films, mainly because of the set pieces, then also because of what it's directly speaking to. That not just plays like in a way, kind of modern American epic like an Oppenheimer or a Flower Moon, but it is also a crowd pleaser. And so every time I've watched this movie in an audience, they've loved it. You can feel it, how well the movie plays in real time. And it has, I think, one of PTA's signature stamps. And not that he's the only one that can do it well. A lot of people do it well in their own, I think, unique way. But, and I think it's all in the screenwriting, he has such a very effective balance of dramatic and comedic moments, and they never once take away from the other. I would say that Marvel could learn a thing or two from him, but they could learn a thing or two from
anyone.
I don't know, anyone, basically. So that would not be, I think, really apt to bring them into any kind of conversation. The set pieces were incredible. This film was just electric from every way you want to slice it. Memorable freaking lines. The dialogue, the script was so freaking good. Alongside the editing, alongside the cinematography, there are some shots that I just couldn't believe when I was looking at how good it looked like. And then to top it all off, you had that score by Johnny Greenwood, which is one of the most dynamic scores that I can remember in recent history. Like it was like shape-shifting as it went throughout, but at every moment, it perfectly captured, I think, the feeling that we were all meant to experience. And by the way, that score is perfect already to begin with, but PTA has to have some needle drops in there. But man, did they hit every single time. Every single song choice that he picked in the instance in which they were playing felt appropriate and did not take me out of the movie at all. It just further enhanced the energy that scene was definitely trying to make you feel. Like, to me, this is going to be one of those films that I'm going to be watching endlessly on a loop, like Oppenheimer or Flower Moon. I think one battle after another is just endlessly entertaining, but it also does not shortchange the drama in which you feel so much of all throughout the film as well. And I think it has this whole other layer to it that makes it more special for me because, and I think Alexis is going to feel the same way as well, because, she and I have been talking about how much we've been feeling a lot like the Christopher Plummer's character in Sound of Music, which is like, he's in the movie Sound of Music, kind of in a world that's disappearing. And right now is, as Peter says, we're living, the world is changing. The world right now is really, really bad. And I think it's important that a really a lightning rod movie like this is speaking to things that are happening literally on the news right now. But one of the things that has stuck with me walking out of this film, and I would like to throw it back to Peter for him to elaborate on this, because I feel like he can probably put it better into words than I could. But I got what he said almost immediately. And I think, if I remember correctly, this film can also be read as a damning indictment on the effectiveness of revolutionaries like the French 75, for sure. They fail miserably. But I think the key difference here is it never, I think, at any point criticizes the reasons for which they choose to carry on a revolution. Yeah. And I think what also makes it more prescient, right? Because ultimately, the kind of movie at any other point with the neoliberal, now fascy kind of world that we live in, you could see a point of view, an aggressive point of view, that would indict all of those people who would be in a revolution and just basically say that every step of the way they were wrong for doing it. They had the wrong opinions. Nothing was wrong. The established order is correct. And clearly, that's not what's happening in this film.
No, I think within the film, it's, especially within the world of the film, the world is broken.
Yeah.
To an extensive
degree.
Degree. I don't think the film is at any point ever arguing against that. You know what I mean? No, if anything is criticized of the French 75, it's just the effectiveness of change. You know what I mean? At least from the point of view of the movie. That's what I see. So I do get where some people are like, oh, it's this politically or it's that politically. Yeah, it definitely thinks one side has more of a point than the other. I don't think there's ever a point where you look at Lockjaw and it's like, oh well, you don't look at the Christmas Adventures and go like, well, they got a point with a few things. I don't think the movie ever does that. It never even comes close to doing that. In fact, I think there's very just fiery disdain for Lockjaw.
Yeah.
The way he goes out.
I mean, he literally goes out in flames.
But just pathetic.
Yeah.
Just sad. When you wipe dirt off your shoe kind of thing. But I mean, this is the movie, right? This is what the movie is portraying. So yeah, I mean, I do see that. But I guess I just thought it was funny that some people felt that it was I don't know, saying the French 75 is this perfect entity that needs to be emulated across the country, and it's this is very clearly not doing that. Mm-hmm. But it also very clearly does have empathy for these characters and the cause that they feel is righteous, right? It never says that it's not unrighteous, Yeah.
I also do.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, well, we can in a minute. I just I wanted to say though that I fear. Oh, maybe fear is not the right way of saying it, but I do think that on some primal level, the French 75 revolutionaries may be speaking to an underlying rage that has been building and building and building in the American consciousness for the last couple of decades. And one
for sure
can be quite fearful of where that's going to go. Where
that's why,
especially
scary,
with the state of the world as it is right now. I mean, the Supreme Court just today said maybe it's racist to have protections for African Americans at the polls because that might be racist toward white people. Meanwhile, the political party that is already in control of all levers of power are basically trying to wipe out any kind of representation for the Democratic Party in the South. That was just today. That was all just today.
Well, I was going to say, you were talking about like the Christmas adventures. There was also that, that news today where the group of younger Republicans, their group chat leaked, and they're all praising Hitler and joking about sending people to the gas chambers. And yeah, that's not good. I think that's a problem. Well, to me, the real problem is the fact that the vice president of the United States completely fucking downplayed it and was like, hey, you know, that's the scary part, right? That's the part where, yeah, I don't know. It's just scary. Political times are scary times. And that's why I thought it was really good idea from Paul Thomas Anderson to take the story that's based on the novel Vineland about revolutionaries in the 60s from this very volatile political time to like the 80s where shit did not turn out their way, right? And it's sort of examining that and setting it in the modern day and sort of creating that juxtaposition. Because arguably, honestly, I would still say, though, not to the same extent as the 60s. That it is pretty volatile politically, but like the 60s had genuine like revolutionary situations that for all the screaming about that happening today, it really just isn't. Like I don't know, it just isn't. But no, I think it does very least work really well within the film to explore, at the very least, the emotional sense of modern day political reality. If not the literal reality, the emotional reality, I would say.
I believe you were going to say Benicio. We didn't get into him all that much.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
else?
Benicio, who plays the coolest guy in a movie ever.
Ocean Waves.
Yeah. No, yeah, he was actually really fantastic.
He's fantastic.
He was just so cool the whole time, you know, and I loved it when, you know, you're seeing all the people who he's helping out, you know, protecting and everything. At any moment, anyone else would have been like, oh, God, what do we do? What do we do? But him is just like, no, this is just another day for me. I don't care. And he's just moving along. And I love that when he's introducing Leo's character to everyone in the family and all that. And again, it's just, he just does it so casually and it's hilarious. And then I love his final moment where he's like talking to those cops and he's just kind of like, yeah, I did this. And he knows he's going to get away with it somehow.
Well, that also could have been something else that the right wing could have found to be insulting, right? Where, I mean, you do have a film here that ultimately all members of law enforcement are not portrayed as heroes. But you know who is portrayed as a real hero more than anybody else in the movie, more than the revolutionaries? Benicio del Toro. And him basically becoming a Harriet Tubman figure for his community.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, providing safe passage for refugees, basically, who are being targeted by, wouldn't you know it, the American Empire. Maybe that's part of what's getting them getting themselves in a knot. It's like, wait a minute, why to them it should be reversed? It should be the police officers who should be revered as heroes, and it should be the undocumented scum that should be deported.
Mm.
But
I mean, again, though, with everyone else, like, they're not winning. They're not like
they're surviving.
Yeah, they're just surviving. They're just doing whatever they can.
But also, you don't have to answer this if you feel uncomfortable, but I think people should probably know. You're Mexican.
Yes.
What? Who are you talking
if
to?
If you don't want people to know, we don't have to reveal it. Both of you, yeah.
Yes, we're Mexican.
Yes, okay. David sounds proud. You don't seem as proud.
Every person on this podcast that has been on this podcast, save for one, is of Mexican descent.
Yes.
I am. David is. You are as well.
Yes.
I don't understand the.
Well, let me extend the question. Half question, half statement. You, as well as me and David, we've seen movies, our whole lives. We've seen a lot of different movies. Most movies I've seen, especially growing up, Mexicans were violent gangbangers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you were Antonio Banderas, and even then sometimes, I guess, I don't know, fucking Zorro, it was like Mexicans are these violent criminal gangbangers,
Rapists and murderers.
Rapists and murderers, as one individual has said. So I do think it's funny whenever people are like, they lose their mind over stuff like this, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because me, as someone who's like seen movies my whole life where it's like people that look like me are bad guys, So when a movie like this and people lose their mind, like, oh my God, like,
the white people
they're
are
not
the
bad guys right now.
Yeah, they're not bad guys. The white guys are bad guys and everything.
Yeah.
And then they're starting to lose.
It's
like all of a sudden now we have to pay attention as to how we're gonna portray someone.
Yeah, now we gotta lose our shit over it, and it's like,
no, yeah, it's
kind of silly to me.
It's one battle after another with these types of topics of movies. It's like,
yeah,
I hate it. How what was it recently? Again, it was the whole girl boss conversation. Oh, it was something about Disney movies. How they're tired of how in the old Disney movies, you've seen these the princesses, the women portrayed as just purely good and all that, and now we're trying to like.
I'm just tired of them. Why are they so obsessed with women?
Wait, hold on.
No, seriously, why can't they just back the fuck off? And like, why is every freaking argument they have to be about? But seriously, for the people out there who should be smarter than being captured by this, why do you have to make your whole identity about how some work of fiction is utilizing their female characters if you're a guy? What is it taking away from you that you feel the need to always do this?
Mm-hmm. No, but like I said, they portray princesses, the women, as these purely good, innocent beings of sorts, and then when you're getting these live action ones, you got women saying like, "Hey, can we get more to them than just that?" And they're seeing it as like, "Oh, they just want a girl boss," and it's like, come on, dude. Like, you complain that Rey is just purely good, but then you see these purely good characters from the beginning, and you're like, why aren't we getting this more? It's just like, well, you had it with Rey, and you complained about it. And then,
but also, for me, my argument is always like, well, why can't they have a girl boss?
No, yeah,
fuck you.
That's the thing, though. It's just like all of it just leads to them just not watching enough stuff. It's really all it is, because.
But the thing is, I don't even think it's that. I think it's very deliberate. I think they're just lying. Like
I mean, lying, but then also too, like I really do think they're just not watching enough stuff because I keep hearing like, oh man, there's not a lot of good movies out this year, and I'm like, I mean,
that is true.
This year, yes, for sure, but like in past years,
no, I'm saying it's true that they'll say that like there's no good movies, and it's like there's always good movies if you watch movies, regularly, like.
But that's the other thing. It's like their issue is always with one fucking studio or two studios. They're not really interested in having
Disney movies.
Yes.
Then yeah, like there's no. It's like video games. If you only play Call of Duty, then yeah, maybe there's no good games, right? Yeah. But if you're playing all kinds of different games, then no, like there's always good shit coming out.
No, yeah, that's like,
always.
That's like the best example for this year because I am kind of like, okay, this year's kind of dragging with movies, but with video games this
there's
year,
ebbs and flows for sure.
No, yeah, for sure. But for video games,
can you say that again? What did you say about movies this year?
I'm just kind of feel like there's not a lot. I've seen. Let me see.
Did you watch movies last year? Because last year there was hardly anything that came out last year. In comparison to what though? What I thought you said last year was not that great in movies.
No, this year, worse. No. This year for sure, I'm kind of like there's not a lot of good movies out. Last year, I didn't say anything about last year.
Off on David this show.
Shut the fuck up! I'm not talking to you right now, okay?
I didn't say anything about last year.
I'm just no. That's not true. We've had conversations on the podcast before, talking about the year in film 2024, and you not saying that was a year that there wasn't much to offer. So now you're saying that this year, 2025, it's even less for you. Is that what you're comparing it to, or what year are you comparing it to? About like
I wasn't comparing it. I wasn't comparing it to anything. I just said this year movies are kind of dragging. I think maybe last year might have. Honestly, last year I probably didn't watch that many either. But I know for sure there's probably more good movies than there are bad. Oh yeah, Dune Part 2. Are you kidding me? That just beats anything. I mean, for sure. Actually, I remember now. I think I said for past years, I disagree. Like, because I know for sure the year like Black Panther came out, they were like, oh, there weren't, or what was it? Mission Impossible Fallout. They were like, oh yeah, that was the only good movie that year. And I'm like, bro, Spider-Verse came out, I think that same year, and like a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, what the hell are you talking about? And so. It's just for them. It's not a lot, watching a lot. And then I was gonna say video games for sure this year. The biggest one that they were talking about was Star Wars Outlaws, which it's a bad game and all that, but they're using that as an excuse of like, man, what the heck is happening with game studios nowadays? And it's like, I mean, we still have like a whole bunch of other stuff. There was this one recently came out, Blueprints, that I'm hearing great things about. Expedition 33 just blows everything out of the water. There's so many great things coming out. In terms of video games, Ghost of Yotei just came out. I'm hearing some pretty good stuff, and so it's just where was I going with that? I lost my train of thought. But basically,
I guess that's my fault too.
I don't know what your deal is with David.
It's like I wasn't directing that at David. I was directing it at you, Peter, because that's what you know. You were about to say that shit. You were about to pull that shit out of your ass right now. Like, oh, because Alexis, because he's the one that interrupted you. That's
David,
not what happened. If you want
to take a break from this podcast after this episode, I completely understand. I don't know what you did to him. I don't know.
No, well, I remember now. It's just this constant. Yeah, it was, as I was saying, like it's just this one constant, like one battle after another with these types of topics of movies and just anything with media. That it's just one people will say one thing and then another person will say another thing, and we're just seeing a whole different thing from all the rest of the people. It's constantly annoying of what people want to bring up their own stuff. It's everyone else putting in their own politics within these reviews, and it's just like, come on. You're complaining about politics, but then you're putting your own politics in this, and it's just
it's tough because I'll see a lot of this stuff like on YouTube and or even Twitter, and there's just a financial incentive to create controversy. I'm someone who I like Twitter mostly because it's like breaking news can happen fucking quick. Like, and this is a terrible example because it was really fucked up, but like when Charlie Kirk got shot.
Mm.
I knew about that shit within like 5 minutes just because I was scrolling Twitter, and then it pops up. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But like it's the fastest way to like see news and stuff, and it has become a cesspool. Specifically for all the shitty changes, Elon Musk.
That's what it is. Yeah.
By far, the worst thing he did was pay Twitter users for like engagement and stuff like that. Basically just paying Twitter users for like the more engagement they get, because it's made it unusable, because it's all slop now. It's rage bait and slop to get people to interact with the tweet, because whether you're raging about it or whatever, as long as you're interacting with it, you're making money. And that's that way on YouTube too. That's why a lot of like what started out as like regular kind of movie reviewers and stuff took a hard turn into like just complaining about MCU and shit like that. So yeah, I forgot what I was fucking saying.
Oh yeah, we went off topic from the movie, but to go back into actually I remember what I wanted to bring up about the movie. Actually, you brought up the score. Yeah, I really like the score, but I was kind of like, man, it's so funny, but I don't know how to describe it. And then finally, someone said like it was cartoonish. Like the score was almost cartoonish in a way, because you get these like little dun, 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 dun moments, and it just reminds me of like when you see like a cartoon character on Looney Tunes sneaking, trying to sneak by somewhere, and you just hear like a dun, 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 like those kinds of music notes. And yeah, that was a standout. That was definitely what I was noticing with the score. I'm like, what is it with like these beats and all that? And so, but yeah, and it works well because this is pretty much like a satire movie of sorts, trying to like over exaggerate.
There's a whimsy to it, but it's also intense.
Yeah.
It never becomes like a joke.
Yeah.
Which fits so perfectly with the tone. Because easily to me the best sequence of the film is that whole chunk where it's Benicio and what's his name, Bob, and it's like it's not one shot, but it feels like that, where you're just following them throughout the apartment. They're going up and they're coming down,
just trying to plug in his
the
phone.
tension. He's trying to plug in his phone. He's on the phone and he's trying to get them to fucking listen and give them the rendezvous point, and that like tension, that like the piano keys of like dee, 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 and it just keeps moving the momentum, and it can be playful, but it's never not intense.
Yeah.
Which again I think just correlates perfectly with the whole film. It's such a because you said it's a satire. I don't even know if that's the right word.
Yeah, same.
It's such a unique tone, I think, the film.
Because it is over-exaggerating on
so
some
well
things.
done.
Especially with like the names of like Lockjaw and Jungle Pussy and all that.
Yeah.
Like it's over-exaggerating on certain things. Especially with the whole Christmas thing.
Yeah, Christmas event. Hail Santa, or what did they say?
Yeah.
Hail Saint Nick.
Hail Saint Nick.
Yeah. Well, what was the name of the nuns? Like the coven of the brown beaver or whatever.
I can't remember.
Which is like a pussy joke.
Yeah. And so
like
like it's very much like it's trying to take itself somewhat seriously, but it's definitely pushing the line of satire. And so I don't know what the right word for that would be, but
it's a very unique tone, but one that just works perfectly. But see, that's the thing. It's hard to tell a serious, at this specific political moment, it's so hard to tell a serious political film, right? Because it is just ridiculous to a comical level, the political landscape as it exists right now. That's why every time someone tries to do it inevitably ends up almost becoming a comedy, Like, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard a lot of things about what was that movie with Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal?
Oh,
Eddington.
Eddington. Yeah. I've heard a lot where it's just all about a very similar film, in so much it's about current day and sort of the anxieties and the insanities of the political landscape today. And inevitably, it's gonna be comedic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is it makes a hell of a film.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yep. Probably a Best Picture contender.
Contender easily. Winner.
Yeah. Well, probably not, because of course that probably wouldn't happen. Warner Brothers has had a pretty amazing run this year.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys prefer this or Sinners?
Oh, I like this one better than Sinners.
Yeah.
I do. I love Sinners, but
I do as well.
I adore this film. Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't think it was a contest for David, since he apparently hated the movie.
You hated Sinners?
No, I liked it. I just didn't like it as much as you guys. It was just something about the plot that I'm kind of like, it's about what I expected, vampire survival movie and all that. I like the bits of it all with, like the history, I guess, that was going on.
Are you one of those that preferred the first half of the film? Before the vampires show up?
No, I liked the vampire stuff. That was, that was practically great. Especially that Irish, dancing moment. Are you kidding me? That was great.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just, I don't know. Just something about the plot didn't grab me as strongly as I wanted it to. So, yeah.
But I mean, it's not bad to be in a position where it's like, oh, two great films.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, believe you me, I'd much rather be in a position where it's like, I love these two films. One of them I clearly like more than the other, but I still enjoy both.
Mm-hmm.
Versus liking one and not liking the other, or,
Yeah, for sure.
being in a basically a Tron Ares situation. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it seems as if this conversation has run its course. And everyone's giving me that look of like, all right, Alexis, get this thing out of here so we can go home.
Well,
all right, let's go ahead. You have one more thought?
I'll just briefly talk about the Big Bold Beautiful Journey. Like I said, I didn't like it. Honestly, Margot Robbie and what's his name again?
Colin Farrell.
They really didn't have much chemistry in that movie, which sucks because that was kind of the crutch of it. And the story is just about these two trying to get to a wedding. Oh, they went to a wedding. The thing that they had to rent a car to get there, and the place where they rented it, the people there, very weird, but somehow they're the reason why they go to this big, beautiful journey where they're going through their past, like literally walking through a door, seeing their past. And that whole plot of it, I was like, I feel like I'm being too harsh of it. I don't know. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. And then it finally hit me. Oh, wait a minute. Infinity Train is sort of like this. And so, if sadly you can't see Infinity Train, they took it out of HBO Max, and I don't think there's anywhere for you to see it, sadly. And it was a fantastic show, cartoon show. But just the whole reasoning to kind of connect in the first place was really, it was really forced. They didn't have much chemistry. I liked their character arc of sorts, what they both individually went through. But in terms of me rooting for them to be together in the end, it did not land at all. So,
yeah, I heard the biggest issue with that movie is that they didn't have the kind of chemistry you would need to like lift the film up and make it work.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it was very much forced from the beginning and just didn't work out. So, yeah, that's
should have got Will Smith.
I think I heard they had like way less chemistry.
What?
I don't
They
know.
got the most chemistry. What are you talking about?
I haven't seen the movie, but I heard like nobody liked them together. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's my review.
Is that satisfactory for you?
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't the one that held it up. There was an individual that wanted to get one more thought out there. I don't see how
Yes.
that had anything to do with me being
I
satisfied.
was engaging with his review. It was a good review.
Okay.
I wish
Do
you
we
could have
have
been
any-
there for it.
Excuse me?
Huh?
Do we have any final closing thoughts?
May God bless us, everyone.
Okay. Well, thank you all for listening, and I do apologize for whatever that was. Stay tuned under our red spotlight for more content and more, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.